windows, green-tiled roof, and 2 storybook chimneys. Sarah had known with equal certainty it had likewise been waiting for her to show up. Her brother Tim, 4 years her senior, would have warned against getting ahead of herself. He believed she'd made that mistake when marrying Harris Colfax. Tim had always had her back, but she didn't believe that past mistakes should stop her from ever trusting her instincts again. Within taking a couple of steps toward the front door with its time-tarnished brass dolphin knocker, she'd made up her mind to buy this house. She'd also decided she would finally get the dog she had always wanted. It came to her that Bramble Cottage liked the idea of a dog almost as much as it welcomed the prospect of her moving in. "Some people don't like the idea of a corner house," the agent had said with painstaking frankness while producing a key. "But you do have this screening of firs and shrubbery on both sides, and there's a half-acre to the rear with access to the beach, more than making up for this handkerchief up front. As I warned you, the interior isn't spacious, just the 2 bedrooms, unless you count the storage area under the eaves. It does have a window, so maybe it could work at a pinch as a home office. Wood floors throughout, except the kitchen and bathroom, and the one thing the seller did before putting the place on the market was have them refinished. Down the road, you could add on a master suite above the garage, always a good investment for resale." "That's a thought, but I want to put down roots." During her 7-year marriage to Harris, home had been a high-rise condo on Lakeshore Drive in Chicago. After the divorce 18 months ago, she'd moved into an apartment in Evanston. Neither had been her ideal. She and Tim had grown up in a house with all the charm of one built in the 1940s. For Harris, it had been different. A glass-sided eyrie was his natural habitat, his childhood and adolescence having been spent in the penthouse where his widowed mother still lived, in contented proximity to theaters and museums. He hadn't foisted his wishes on Sarah, merely pointed out the pros of not having to deal with maintenance and the freedom to come and go as they wished. She had put up no resistance when he'd taken her to see an industrialized loft space they would be crazy not to buy. Wildly in love, she'd have lived with him in a tent on a swamp if that was what he wanted. Sarah rummaged in the cardboard box she had brought into the kitchen and hefted onto the butcher block counter. Producing a jar of instant coffee, a cup, and a spoon, she smiled. Her first caffeine fix since setting off from New Hampshire at dawn, having spent the night with her Aunt Beth. She would have preferred a freshly ground brew, better yet a double-shot cappuccino, but this would do. In the box were a couple of pastries, thanks to the kindness of Aunt Beth, but she was too excited to feel hungry. She was home. Bramble Cottage. Just think of it. Her cozy little house had its very own name, and it stood at the entrance to one of the loveliest named roads in the world, Wild Rose Way. She took a deep, reviving sip before picking up her cell phone to let her parents know she had arrived. Barney Draycott answered at the first ring. "Hey, Dad." "Made it there?" He spoke in his usual leisurely way. She could see him as clearly as if he were in the room, a square-jawed, stockily built man with a thick thatch of graying brown hair. "10 minutes ago. I'm savoring the moment." "Proud of you, honey. It was time to make a new start." "Thanks, Dad. Picture me celebrating with a cup of instant before the movers arrive. That should be in a couple of hours' time." "Be sure and make time to eat something. Have to keep up your strength for the unpacking." Sarah laughed. "Is Mom telling you to say that? She's the one who'd know." "Some daughter you are. Think I'm incapable of basic common-sense advice? Your mother's out grocery shopping." "You always did let her have all the fun." Sarah sipped at her coffee. Striking out on her own adventure had nudged her parents into fulfilling their own dream of moving to Florida. "Any nibbles on the house?" "A woman came through yesterday, and she's coming back this afternoon with her husband." "Better start packing." "Honey, we've been..."